Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Just doing a couple mic checks before we get this one going. Go behind us and play. Game festivities before we get started. Here, Charlotte Latin and Charlotte Country Day. Again, just doing a couple mic checks in. Get this rocking and rolling. We're happy to spend your Friday night with us, wherever you're at. Check 1, 2, mic check. Mic check 1, 2. Welcome in again, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting a couple microphone checks here, getting our audio situated. Ahead of this one, we've got a good one tonight between Charlotte Latin and Charlotte Country Day. A lot of pregame festivities as well. And we're excited to be here. And as I said earlier, we're excited that you're joining us here on the broadcast tonight here in South Charlotte, off Providence Road. Beautiful Charlotte Latin campus. Getting our mic checks in, setting our audio as we're just over 31 minutes away from kickoff tonight. And it should be a good one. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is senior night here at Charlotte Latin. The festivities starting right now. And we've got a couple seniors being recognized tonight for the Hawks. We just got done with Nate Burhay, number 2 for the Hawks. And right now we've got number 80, Andrew Bowen, being recognized for the Hawks. Such a special night here. A lot of the alumni back here at this beautiful campus here at Charlotte Latin, taking things in. And, of course, it's special for a number of reasons. One, for obviously being senior night, but also for head coach Larry McNulty. A lot of the recognition coming his way tonight as it's his last regular season game with the Hawks. And love to... I'm sure the team here would love to send him off with a win tonight. And being recognized now as number 13 for Charlotte Latin, Harrison Flowhouse. And I've got to say, that is an awesome last name. And he's got a brother on the team as well, but Harrison is the one that's being recognized tonight from the Flowhouse house, if you will. And congratulations to him.
Next up, number 14, Will Hawkyard. Escorted by his parents.
Coming up next for Charlotte Latin is Will Hawkyard.
He is a first-year starter at strong safety and is a mainstay on the Hawk special team units. He is a quiet,
strong safety for Charlotte Latin being recognized now.
Will's wry sense of humor is a
First-year starter for Charlotte Latin.
no matter the situation. It's been a pleasure working with Will. We've been happy to watch him grow and mature both as a football player and as a young man. Number 14, Will Hawkyard. Next up, number 66, Robert Hutchins.
Next coming up for Charlotte Latin on senior night, Robert Hutchins, number 66.
Robert's mom, Joette, hopefully is on her way to watch her son play tonight. Robert is a two-way starter on the offensive and defensive line.
The two-way starter for Charlotte Latin on the defensive line and the offensive line. And you got to love the versatile players like that playing on both sides of the ball. And Hutchins is one of the several players that does that for Charlotte Latin.
On the line in recent time, and he displays his care and commitment towards his teammates as well. Congratulations on a great year to Hutch, and Mom is here. All right, way to go, Joette. Thanks for being here tonight.
And look at that, his mom showing up just in time. They were coming over, the PA announcer saying that they didn't know if he was going to come later on, that she wasn't on the field, and then look at that, coming right in time at midfield to join her son. Nice moment there. Number 75, Brendan Riley, being recognized now for the Hawks.
It has paid off for him this season as he is starting on the offensive line and playing significant reps on the defensive line.
And the PA announcer here noting this quickness on the offensive line as a result of him becoming a starter for Charlotte Latin this season. And, of course, Charlotte Latin losing a lot of their seniors from last season, but we've had quite a few players step up and fill those gaps this year with some tremendous play. Coming up now, being recognized as DeMarcus Stradford, number 5 for the Hawks here at midfield now.
And he's joined on the field by his sister Morgan.
And joined by their sister as well as his mom and dad. A nice moment for the senior there.
Premier running backs in the state. He's fast, he's strong, he's smart, durable too.
And, of course, you're going to be hearing his name a lot. He is over 4,000 yards rushing in his career at Charlotte Latin. He is the workhorse of this offense. And, I mean, it's not just on the athletic field as well. I had a chance to talk with Coach McNulty earlier in the year, and this is a tremendously bright young man. I mean, you've got to be bright if you're going to Harvard, and that's where he's going, ladies and gentlemen. Going to play football at Harvard, but then also excel in the athletic arena as well is DeMarcus Stradford. I mean, you'll be hearing his name a lot. Coming up now is number 12
positions on the offense
for Charlotte Latin.
Latin football program, and this year he has really embraced and excelled in the leadership role of quarterback. Playing quarterback requires more than just to play on the field. It requires work in the
Joined by his mom and dad down there. It's the senior captain, Martin Sumacrast, and of course, Sumacrost, excuse me. Want to get the young man's name pronounced right out here, Sumacrost. And he, of course, is the senior quarterback leader, captain of this team. Sumacrast is what the PA announcer is saying, actually. So I apologize to the Sumacrast family being recognized now, but Martin Sumacrast and his brother is on the team as well. So it's a family affair, him at quarterback tonight. And being recognized now is number 3, Sam Turner for the Hawks, the wide receiver and defensive back for Charlotte Latin, another guy playing on both sides of the ball for Charlotte Latin. He is going to be the last one recognized here as we're kind of closing out the senior festivities here.
There are your seniors on the field, all 9 of them and their families holding hands and giving
And the 9 seniors for Charlotte Latin.
For just a moment, so please stay there at center field.
And we're going to get a little group photo here before we start to get things going.
Immediately following the senior tradition of the football players, we will announce the seniors on the pep band. So get ready for that.
And of course, as tradition goes at Charlotte Latin, not just recognizing the seniors on the football team, but also a special moment for the seniors of the pep band as well. And you gotta like that, showing recognition for all the people that make this football program great, whether it be on the field or providing the entertainment and the pep of the Hawks. As we're about 11 minutes from kickoff here. And again, we thank you for joining you tonight. This is, of course, our first live stream of the season, so bear with us if we have any technical difficulties. We don't expect to because we are confident in our equipment and our ability, but we're just throwing that out there, and we're excited. We're thrilled to be here for tonight's matchup between the Hawks and the Buccaneers as we're wrapping up senior festivities, getting ready to get the pep band on the field. It's the Charlotte Country Day. Coach is coming by, giving us a what's up. Love to have them out here. Of course, 2 rivals in conference, but of course, you know, we got to be friendly off the field as well, right?
We have 4 seniors tonight. Coach Jocelyn Fuller is excited about this group. And let's begin with David Cowan.
So our first pep band member being recognized, the senior David Cowan in the tuba section, carrying the big brass back there. My man, I was back in the band in my high school career as well. Takes a lot to carry the tuba around, and maybe you can get him on the football squad. I mean, being able to carry that thing around, that is a lot of work back there, but being recognized, David Cowan, the tuba player.
Next up is
Andrew Eggy now,
and William Eggy.
the senior on the pep band.
Andrew is the percussion section leader in our Wendell.
The percussion section leader.
Also very talented pianist, has been a valuable member of our band program for 8 years. He's a Latin
Wow, and PA announcer saying has been with the band here at Charlotte Latin for 8 years, wants to study economics. And deciding, man, also pointing out maybe he wants to one day pursue a career in politics. Good luck to you, my man. Not my calling, but all the power to you. Now coming up is Jamie Howard, the senior on the pep band.
Of the pep band
And wow, the captain of the pep band and the PA announcer saying she's the boss.
Program for 6 years and a member of the pep band for 4 years. In addition to being a talented musician, Cheney is also a member of our Latin volleyball team.
And recognizing her, she's also a member of the volleyball team here at Charlotte Latin. So doing it all over the program at Charlotte Latin, a versatile young lady there being recognized. Congratulations to her. And finally, we've got Dan Okel being recognized.
Ben is a member of our French horn section.
Ben Okel, excuse me, and he's a French horn player.
Ben is a Latin lifer who also wrestles, and he plays
Also a wrestler and a tennis player, according to the PA announcer here. So another young man that's doing quite a few things here, and you love to see that. Getting your feet wet with a number of things that you got going on, and just being active in the school. You love to see that. Playing tennis, wrestling, and then also in the pep band on the French horn. So that'll wrap up the festivities here for the pep band members, as we're just about 7 minutes from kickoff. So we should be having the field, the team coming out on the field soon, and of course, as is tradition, coming through that big Hawk inflatable. And that thing is huge over there on the left. I don't know, Ryan, if you can get some sight of this thing, but there it is over there on the left side. Man, that thing is massive. And of course, as is tradition, the team will come running through as along with the students and the cheerleaders on the field. And of course, this is a special night, as I kind of already iterated, for head coach Larry McNulty, his final regular season game here at Charlotte Latin. The team hoping to send him off with a W tonight. And again, we thank you guys all for joining us tonight. Michael McLam going to be with you. Ryan Gwill doing the camera work for us, as we're about 6 minutes from kickoff now.
Tonight, we'd like to say a special hello to Henry Lilly. Henry is 6 years old and a first grader here at Charlotte Latin School, and he has got special permission to be able to be trackside tonight, to be able to watch the game and see the coaches. And I hear that he is one of Tim the trainer's favorites. So hello to Henry Lilly and his 2 brothers. I hope you enjoy the game with Coach Serby down there trackside.
And it looks like Charlotte Country Day preparing to enter the field now. The Buccaneers over here on the right side. Looks like they might be coming out first, as we'll get a glimpse of them over here on the right. There they are. As we're 5 minutes from kickoff, looks like the Buccaneers will, of course, enter the field first. You got to get the home team getting the customary second coming out in to a rounding ovation, I'm sure, here at Patton Stadium, and a lot of the alumni coming out tonight as well to support, not only these seniors, and it's a special night, but also to support Coach McNulty in his final regular season game, as we've iterated. So a special night for a couple of reasons tonight. And we'll see the Buccaneers of Charlotte Country Day bringing their 5-4 record, 0-2 in the CIS AA conference thus far. Get ready to enter the field of play, and we're hoping for a good one. And thanks for you guys out there that are already joining us on the stream, as here comes Charlotte Country Day bursting through, entering the field to their fans. And And it looks like Charlotte Latin is preparing to make their entrance as well over here on the left side. And there's that hawk again. Man, that thing is towering over this field. As we're just over 3 minutes until kickoff between these conference opponents. And as customary, the football team coming down through that long, winding concrete path and coming out onto the track where the fans, the student fans and the cheerleaders will join them. It looks like we're going to get, before that though, looks like we're going to get the two teams coming at midfield for the coin toss. The captains on each team.
Ladies and gentlemen, your team captains are out on the field at this time. And for the Buccaneers, number 15, Owen Hunter. Number 23, John Hosmer. Number 33,
and the
Robertson. And
three captains for Charlotte Latin, the 4 for Charlotte Country Day. Of course, out there for Latin is number 5, DeMarcus Stradford, number 12, Martin Sumacrast, and number 23, Ryan Browse. As we'll get the coin flip coming soon, see who's going to start out with possession to start this one. And looks like the field, we're going everywhere tonight. Looks like the team is ready to enter. So we're starting to get the cue from the pump-up music here in the facility that it's time for the Charlotte Latin faithful to enter the field of play. And the coin toss has just happened as well. The Buccaneers will receive to start this one. As Charlotte Latin is getting ready to enter to this rousing ovation here at Patton Stadium. Thanks for all of you that are joining us here tonight, just now coming into the stream as we're just about ready to get started. CIS AA action, Charlotte Country Day, Charlotte Latin. And the team getting ready to come through that Beat the Bucks banner there, held up by the cheerleaders and greeted by the fans over there. Gathering there, getting one last little word with one another before they go to battle tonight against Charlotte Country Day. And you can feel the intensity here tonight. This is one game, of course, that both of these teams won, both entering the game 5-4. And here they come, Charlotte Latin, led by Martin Sumacrast holding the American flag there, and the rest of the team coming out to the applause of these Charlotte Latin fans that have made it out tonight. And you gotta love it. It's Friday night football in the Carolinas. Nothing finer than being in Carolina, and we've got Friday night football action. And we'll just pause for a moment as we're going to get the national anthem coming here in just a moment.
Would you please stand as we introduce the invocation tonight, followed by the singing of the national anthem. And tonight, the singing of the national anthem will be performed by the upper school choir. Gentlemen, at this time, please remove your hats. And to lead us in the invocation tonight from the junior class, we have Meredith Scott here in the home press box. Meredith?
Dear God, we ask that you use your strength to watch over the health of both teams tonight. We pray for the safety of each player and that the game would be played all for your glory. Thank you for the opportunity to gather in community with one another and for blessing and watching over us with your mercy and grace. Amen.
All right, here we go. National anthem has been commenced, and the team starting to come over, getting the final words from the two sidelines here as the two teams coming out. And I believe I misspoke at the beginning. It was Charlotte Country Day who won the toss. They decided to defer to the second half, so Charlotte Latin will receive to open the game tonight.
Your Charlotte Latin dance team trackside will be back at the end of the first quarter, and of course they'll perform for us at halftime tonight as well. And your Charlotte Latin headband tonight being led by
And just about ready to get underway here.
call for Charlotte Country Day and the Buccaneers is number 85, Edward Dellinger.
Edward Dellinger will kick off a little squib kick there over on the right. Just having a fall on it there. Charlotte Country Day got a couple of defenders there on the special teams, got in that area, but fortunately for Charlotte Latin, able to get under that one before the Country Day special teams unit was able to get there and have a chance to get on that ball. So Latin will start off their drive at the 21-yard line for the Hawks. Summacrest directing the offense with Stratford back, and he'll get the first carry of the game coming over right side. There's a flag on the play. This one might be called for holding on the Hawks.
And the handoff to DeMarcus Stratford. And he gains some yardage on the play, but a flag is thrown.
The officials coming over here to confer. I think the Hawks are going to get called for holding here, as Stratford went for about 9 yards on the carry, and it looks like, they're going to take away the flag. The penalty waived off as a 7-yard gain for the Hawks. 2nd and 3 coming up for Charlotte Latin as we are just opening the game. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Michael McLam, Ryan Gwill doing the camera work, and I'll be alongside with you here for the duration of this one. In the I formation now. The give to Stratford. He's held up well by the Buccaneers defense. And that run's going to go nowhere. Maybe losing a yard on that play. Meeting a host of Buccaneers there at the defensive line was Stratford. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 3 yards to gain for Charlotte Latin. And Stratford's going to be in the shotgun this time with Summacrest to his left. And they give this straight to Stratford, and he's going to get a gap. He's on the left side. He's at the 50, the 40, the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown DeMarcus Stratford opens the game with the score. Charlotte Latin strikes first. They put him in the Wildcat with Sumichrast to his left, and Stratford says, I'll take it myself, going to the left side, finds a huge gap over there, and takes it for the score, the 70-yard score for Charlotte Latin to open this one up. The kicking team coming on for the extra point, as Charlotte Latin is going to strike first. DeMarcus Stratford, again, so lethal there in the backfield for Charlotte Latin. Extra point coming. And it is good for Charlotte Latin, 7-0. The Hawks open up the scoring tonight. A 3-play drive for Charlotte Latin off of I believe it was a 70-yard run for DeMarcus Stratford. Not sure on the official word on that one, but at just about the 30-yard line was DeMarcus Stratford taking it all the way end to end for the score, 7-0. As Charlotte Country Day will come out for their first offensive possession of the game. Thanks again for all of you joining us tonight. 7-0 Charlotte Latin. 10:45 left to play in the first quarter. Thanks to the 11 of you watching. Go tell your friends. Get them in on this live stream. Retweet on Twitter. Share on Facebook. Let them know Charlotte Latin, Charlotte Country Day football is live here from Patton Stadium. Get them in on the action and the fun tonight. And Tuan Flip is back deep for Charlotte Country Day to receive. Alexander Dottle with the kick, putting it towards the left for a Flip, and he's going to get a fair catch. A touchback coming for Charlotte Country Day. So they'll take their first possession from the 20-yard line, the Buccaneers of Charlotte Country Day. If you're just joining us, Charlotte Latin struck first off of a 70-yard run by DeMarcus Stratford. 3-play drive for Charlotte Latin. We're just at the 10:45 mark in this one. But Stratford, again, so lethal for Charlotte Latin, and he does it again, taking it left side. Basically untouched on that one. I don't think any Buccaneers got a hand on him. And Charlotte Country Day looking to respond here. The give to start the game to the right side, and he's going to get nowhere. Probably a loss of 1 on that one.
Tim Newman, number 20 on the carry.
And that's Tim Newman for Charlotte Country Day getting the give there for a loss of 1. 2nd and 11 coming up for Charlotte Country Day as we're at the 10:22 mark of this one.
And your quarterback for the Buccaneers tonight is number 23, John Hosmer.
Charlotte Country Day lining up shotgun. At the give again. Coming right side. And a gain of maybe 2 yards. Again, if you're just joining us, Charlotte Latin 7, Charlotte Country Day nothing to start this one off. 3rd and 9 yards coming up for Charlotte Country Day in their first possession of this one. Hoping to respond after the touchdown from Charlotte Latin. And it's so important to start these games to get off to good starts, and especially off of a quick strike from Charlotte Latin. You want to get your feet up under you here to start this one and have a good foundation as we're moving in to the first quarter. They're back to pass on this one. They're looking deep. He's got a man over there, but it's going to be sailing out of bounds, not finding his intended receiver was Hospin, and that one's going to bring out the kicking team for Charlotte Country Day. And that pass was intended for the halfback, Tim Newman. And punting team coming on. going right side and taking the punt. Left side with it now, and he's going to be taken down at just about the 44-yard line of the Hawks. So Charlotte Latin coming on for their second drive of this one. Scoring in their first possession, 7-0 is our score with 9 minutes and 5 seconds left to play in the first quarter of action. CIS AA action, 5-4 record for both of these two teams. Hoping to get a win tonight and make their case for the playoffs, as this is the last regular season game for both of these two teams. Of course, Charlotte Latin hoping to defend their state title. The give again to Stratford. Last time he touched it, he took it to the house. This time he'll get about 5 yards. Up to the 50-yard line.
Center field is where the ball is. Second down and 5 to go for the Hawks.
2nd and 5 upcoming for Charlotte Latin. Summacrast back. Stratford's back with him to the right. The fake to Stratford. Summacrast will take it himself up the middle. He's going to be stuffed by a couple of Charlotte Country Day defenders, but not before getting about 2 yards there. That'll bring up about 3rd and 3 for Charlotte Latin.
Gain of 3 on the play for the Hawks. 3rd down and 2 to go.
This will be 3rd and 2 for Charlotte Latin. Summacrast back in the backfield with Stratford once again. And it's Stratford going to take it himself again from the Wildcat. Pushing towards that first down. He's not going to get it, though. And Coach McNulty might be thinking about going for this one as it's past midfield, and it looks like there's no question, not even looking towards the punting unit. The Hawks are going to stay on the field, try and get this one on 4th down. And you got to think they go back to their workhorse in Stratford here. Oh, no, they'll give the QB sneak to Summacrast. We'll have to wait on the spot. The fans over here think that he got it. And it looks like he will reach the first down marker. 1st and 10 upcoming for Charlotte Latin. They give once again off the pitch to Stratford to the left. And he's going to be brought down by 4 Charlotte Country Day defenders for a loss of 2 on that one. The Buccaneers able to get some good penetration on that one. Nothing going for Charlotte for the Hawks. And Stratford there on the left side. Summacrast back once again in the I formation with Stratford dotting that I as we're under 7 minutes to play. A pass coming off the play action. He's got a man. He's going downfield. Brought down. That's number 42, Britt Fuller. Off of the play action, rolling to his right was Summacrast, and he found Fuller streaking down the right side off of the slant. And Fuller with a nice play there, brought down at about the 17-yard line. We're at 6 minutes, 30 seconds to play. Charlotte Latin leading 7-0, trying to punch it in for the second score of this one. Going 2 for 2 in their drives is their hope. And Summacrast will keep it himself off of the fake for Stratford, and he's just going to take that one out of bounds for a gain of maybe 2 yards on that one.
Up to the 14-yard line.
And again, thank you for all of you that are joining us here tonight. Tell your friends. Get out on Facebook, Twitter. Let them know. Text your buddies. Text the alumni. All of the people you know that care about these two great schools. Let them know. We're live Friday Night Football. Summacrast in the shotgun. They give to Stratford.
Marcus Stratford is handed the ball up the middle and runs into the box.
And he'll gain about 2 yards on that one. as we're under 6 minutes left to play. Again, the score is 7-0 in favor of Charlotte Latin over Charlotte Country Day. The Hawks scoring on their first drive of this one off of a 70-yard run by DeMarcus Stradford. Oh, wow, and a nice little trick play that Summacrast off the Statue of Liberty play, breaking a couple tackles, and Stradford again is going to do it himself. And that one had pass written all over it, but the Statue of Liberty play for Charlotte Latin as Summacrast looking like he was going to pass it right and then just handing it out there off the Statue of Liberty to Stradford, and he made a couple tacklers, would-be tacklers miss, and he takes it in for the second score of this one, 14-0 if the extra point goes here for the Hawks. And Andrew Bowen he'll make it 14-0 in favor of Charlotte Latin. The Hawks converting off of the first two drives of this one as we're at 5 minutes, 32 seconds left to play here at Patton Stadium, the final regular season game between Charlotte Country Day and Charlotte Latin.
And tonight at Charlotte Latin School, we are celebrating Coach Larry McNulty's very last regular season game.
And of course, the PA announcer coming over the line now, recognizing again, as we will throughout the night here, Larry McNulty on his final regular season game at Charlotte Latin. And I mean, what a tremendous career for McNulty. I mean, having so much success, so many state titles, not just in football, but in track as well. I mean, and the versatility to do it in football and then also in the spring put together some state winning title track teams as well. As Charlotte Latin scoring on their first two drives, we'll see what Country Day is able to do here if they're able to respond with a score of 14-0 with 5:32 left to play in the first quarter. And that one's going to sail out of bounds before it reaches the back of the end zone. So Country Day is going to get a good field position on this one, coming out to the 40-yard line with the penalty flag thrown. Excuse me, a re-kick coming. I guess, excuse me, the high school rules must be different from the NFL. They won't take it to the 40. Got a little bit too much pro perspective there for me. As we'll get a re-kick. Was not familiar with that rule in high school play, so Charlotte Latin going to get another attempt here. 5:32 left. Again, 14-0 in favor of the Hawks. So we'll do it again. A lining punt there. Bouncing and taking there on the right side. Gets a couple blockers. Gets it all the way to the 40-yard line. So they do end up getting it to the 40-yard line, except it's off of the kick, not off of a flag. So I guess I wasn't all the way wrong there. As Charlotte Country Day will take it from the 40-yard line of Charlotte Latin, hoping... Oh, the 35-yard line. Okay, it looks like he stepped out a little bit before. It appeared as if he got all the way to the 40. It looks like he stepped out near the 35 instead, as Charlotte Country Day will start this drive hoping to respond as Charlotte Latin gets 2 scores to start this one. And a little double pitch there coming to the right side. The reverse, making a couple of tacklers. This is cutting directions, still on his feet at the 50. And the reverse there for Charlotte Country Day, the double pitch on the reverse, coming on the right side and then cutting back towards the middle of the field, making defenders miss, was Rylan McLaurin, the junior receiver. A nice bit of running there from McLaurin, able to stay on his feet on the end around for the Buccaneers as we're at 5 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. And we'll see if the Buccaneers can start to put some positive things together here. On the option, they'll give it. And Newman gets the on the option play for a gain of 2 yards on that one. And they'll spot it as a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9 upcoming for Charlotte Country Day. And John Hosmer back off the fake, gives it left side to number 33, Roberson, excuse me. I'll get it right eventually, as he'll go for about 11 yards on that one, getting the first down, moving the chains for Charlotte Country Day, starting to get some things going here for the Buccaneers.
First down at the 36-yard line for the Bucs.
And Hosmer back in the shotgun with Newman. The give to Newman to the middle, cutting back to the right side, trying to find a gap there. He won't, stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Tim Newman on the carry for the Buccaneers.
Tim Newman getting that one.
2 on the play,
2nd and 8 coming, and we're seeing John Hosmer out there at quarterback for the Buccaneers, and maybe a little bit of a surprise for Charlotte Country Day, as last week it was Tyler Shearer at the helm for the Buccaneers, named the South Charlotte Player of the Week. But instead tonight, Hosmer getting the start. He's started a lot of the games tonight, and he's going back in the pocket. It's intercepted. Oh, nearly. Oh, it looked like he had it there. Dropped it at the last moment. He definitely had a chance on that one. Getting a little bit of too ahead of myself. Thought that one might be intercepted. That's number 21, Randy Johnson, that got a hand on it. Looked like he was going to haul that one in. But instead, fortunately for Charlotte Country Day, it does drop to the field of play, and the Buccaneers will have an opportunity to continue their drive. 3rd and 8 upcoming for the Buccaneers. In the shotgun is Hosmer. Bringing a receiver to his right. They'll give it to him. Right side with it. A flag on the play, and the Buccaneers might get called for holding here, as that was number 7, Rylan McLaurin. We saw him earlier with a nice cutback run off of the motion at the line of scrimmage, coming right side. And the Buccaneers will get called for holding, it looks like here, as they're going to be pushed back.
Holding is the call against Charlotte Country Day, and it's declined.
And the Hawks instead are going to decline it. And looks like Country Day is going to stay out on the field, trying to make something happen here on their second drive of the game, after Charlotte Latin scoring off of 2 early and in their first 2 drives of this one. The Buccaneers hoping to get a response here. They're going for it on 4th down, 4th and 8 upcoming. Rolling to his left, looking downfield. And he's got a man. He cuts upfield, trying to stay in bounds. That's number 5, Twan Flip. And there's another flag on the play. We'll have to see what the call is here. And if it is against the Buccaneers, that is unfortunate, as that one would have been enough for a first down. Twan Flip on the reception off of Hosmer, rolling to his left. Looks like it's going to be a delay of game called against the Buccaneers, and that's No, an eligible receiver, excuse me, called against Charlotte Country Day. And that's tough. I mean, you get the first down and only to be called back off of a penalty marker. And this time Charlotte Country Day will elect to punt.
It's a 5-yard penalty against the Buccaneers. It'll move it back 5 yards. Still fourth down from the 39-yard line.
3 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Country Day with the punting unit on the field. A high snap there. Fortunate for Charlotte Country Day, able to get under that one. Trying to pin them deep. Looks like they might, and they will. They're going to get them right down at the 1-yard line. It looks like Charlotte Country Day will. A beautiful punt there by the Buccaneers, pinning the Hawks deep. And that Charlotte Latin's really going to have to pin their ears back here. As the special teams of Charlotte Country Day able to kind of bail out the offense of their counterparts a little bit, as unable to pick up the first down, as the penalty marker is really costing Charlotte Country Day there. But the special teams able to give them a little bit of light here as they pin the Charlotte Latin offense deep at the 1-yard line. The Hawks are in the shotgun now. They give to Stratford. And a gain of maybe 2 yards on that one was Stratford.
Up to the 4-yard line, a gain of 2 on the play for the Hawks. 2nd and 8.
And if you're just joining us, thank you to all that are joining us. 14-0 in favor of Charlotte Latin. Sorry about that. The audio on it had to cut off for a moment. Getting correction on the roster, and we want to give credit where credit is due. The kicker for tonight is for Charlotte Country Day is Connor Fewen, and that's why I couldn't name him off of the punt there. And want to give credit where credit is due. He's not on the roster. As the give on coming to the left side, and Charlotte Latin's going to pick up another first down after being pinned deep at the 1-yard line. Moving the chains again, and they've had such success on offense to start this one. As we're at 1 minute, 30 seconds left to play in the first quarter of action tonight. Charlotte Country Day, Charlotte Latin, Patton Stadium. Again, thank you to all those that are joining us. The Hawks scoring on their first 2 drives. They'll give it to Stratford once again. He'll be stuffed at the line of scrimmage for no gain on that one. And once again, tell your friends, tell your family, if I can say it right. Tell alumni, tell everyone you know, we're live. Love to have you join the stream and tell us what you think after this one is over, because we would love to continue this tradition in the future and providing this service for you guys. As Summacraft scrambling in the backfield, and they'll get to him that time. Will Charlotte Country Day. And it was Graham Mitchell, number 24 for Charlotte Country Day, getting in the backfield for the sack. And Charlotte Latin's going to be facing 3rd and long on this one, 3rd and about 12. As that will end up being the last play of the first quarter, as they'll let the clock go down here, as it's 14-0 here at the end of the first quarter. Charlotte Latin scoring on their first 2 drives of this one. Country Day, a couple of costly penalties preventing them from continuing some promising drives. But we should be in for some good football tonight. The Country Day defense starting to come up big here. We'll take a short break here, but keep staying with us tonight as we've got some second quarter action coming up soon. Michael McLam, Ryan Gwill with you, and we'll see you in the second quarter. Welcome back. Second quarter getting ready to start here. The Hawks lead 14-0 over Charlotte Country Day. The give once again to Stratford. That one coming up the middle. Not going to be enough for the first down as the punting unit will come up for Charlotte Latin. Charlotte Country Day able to get the Hawks off the field for the first time tonight, their first failed drive of this one. And a cool scene out here tonight, a bunch of the fans and students with Larry McNulty heads showing them tonight, put them up in the air as they've been distributed by the athletic department. The punt by Charlotte Latin taken by the Buccaneers at about the 44-yard line. So yeah, a lot of the students and the fans tonight were given some poster cutouts of the head coach Larry McNulty, and of course the longtime legendary coach, this being his final regular season game here at Charlotte Latin, and what a career he has had at Charlotte Latin. As Charlotte Country Day coming on for the third drive of this one, first drive of the second quarter, as Hosmer back in the shotgun, hoping to get his offense rolling here. And he was looking for Flip on the right side off of the fake in the backfield to the halfback in the backfield, looking for Flip on the right side, but that one's just going to sail over Flip's head for the incompletion there. 2nd and 10 upcoming. Here we go, Country Day, 2nd and 10. The fake, he's looking to pass now to Flip this time, trying to get around a host of Charlotte Latin defenders. But the tackle that time made by number 15, Andrew Summacrast, the other Summacrast brother, getting in on the action. Of course, his brother is the quarterback of this team. But his brother's showing the fans and his family that, man, this kid's got some game too. Coming up with the tackle for a gain of 1 for Charlotte Country Day, 3rd and 9 upcoming. 11 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Play whistle dead here, and a delay of game coming against the Buccaneers, and that's going to be another costly penalty for Charlotte Country Day. As we saw in their second drive, as they started to get some positive things going on offense, An eligible receiver downfield penalty was called against the Buccaneers after they got a first down that would have put them at about the 25-yard line of Charlotte Latin. But instead, that one was brought back, and again, the Buccaneers with a costly penalty that's going to put them at 3rd and 12. Back to pass is Hosmer looking downfield. He's got a man. Oh, and that one just goes off the hands of number 7, Rylan McLaurin. He had him there, and McLaurin, I think that was probably a pass he wished he could get back as he got his hands on that one and just unable to bring that one in. And wow, that's tough for Country Day. Another opportunity missed for the Buccaneers as the punt team comes back on for Charlotte Country Day. Trip Hughes and DeMarcus Stratton. It's blocked! Blocked by the Hawks, coming to get it. Looking for the scoop and score. It's batted around. Finally recovered it around the 2-yard line. That was blocked by number 42, Britt Fuller. And then he was trying to get the scoop and score on that one. Wasn't able to get it. And is number 55, we're getting word, number 55, Ryan Bonner, is going to come up with the recovery for Charlotte Latin off of the blocked punt from Britt Fuller. And that's going to set up Charlotte Latin at about the 4-yard line, maybe the 3-yard line, as they're hoping to build their lead to a comfortable distance here, making it 21-0 if they can, as they scored on their first 2 drives of the game, coming up empty last time out, but they're in great field position here to capitalize once again. And a penalty marker shown here before the snap. And it looks like false start going to be called against the Hawks. Illegal procedure, excuse me. And 1st and goal coming again for Charlotte Latin. They'll be backed up to the 9-yard line. So Britt Fuller, the hero, able to set Charlotte Latin up for a opportunity here to give them a 3-score advantage here at Patton Stadium tonight. The Wildcat give to Stratford again. He's going to cut back, and he's going to score again. DeMarcus Stratford doing it all tonight. The 3rd touchdown of the night for Charlotte Latin, and all 3 of them have been by DeMarcus Stratford. The senior headed to Harvard, doing it all for Charlotte Latin, and we saw him score in his first time on the Wildcat give as well. That was a 70-yard play, and this time he'll get into the end zone once again. The 9-yard touchdown for DeMarcus Stratford will put the Hawks up 20-0 with 10:39 left to play in the first half of action. Andrew Bowen coming on for the extra point, and it's good. Perfect 3 for 3 is Andrew Bowen, 21-0 in favor of Charlotte Latin. And of course, I mean, he's been a factor all season long, continues to be a factor tonight, DeMarcus Stratford. And as I said in the early going of the broadcast and when the seniors were recognized here for senior night, and as I mentioned just a minute ago, DeMarcus Stratford on his way to Harvard to play football and excel in his academic career as well. Had a chance to talk with Coach McNulty earlier in the week, and he had so much praise to talk about his young running back Stratford. I mean, it's one thing to be successful on the field and to be able to carry your team as he does, but then to also do it in the classroom and to put up the grades and the academic ability to be able to further your career at Harvard. It's just so tremendous for him, and I'm sure Coach McNulty, his family, the fans here, all the Charlotte Latin alum got to feel so much pride for that young man. As the kick coming for the Hawks as they lead 21-0, 10:39 left to play in the first half. And that one's going to go to the back of the end zone. Touchback. As Country Day will try again. They've come up empty in their first couple of drives. They've had some nice things going. It's just been the penalties that have really hampered Charlotte Country Day thus far, keeping them from really progressing on some of those drives after they've been able to put some positive things together. We'll have to see what happens here if they're able to start to get some of the momentum back in this one, as of course there's still so much time left to play. Anything can still happen. But we'll have to see if the Buccaneers can start to get it going. A fake here on the play action pass. Scrambling, Hosmer going to take it himself. And he's going to get very close to the first down marker. Ryan Browse getting the tackle for Charlotte Latin. But Hosmer coming up with the 9-yard QB keeper. 2nd and 1 upcoming for Charlotte Country Day. So here we go. 2nd and 1. Scrambling to the left on the option. Newman pushing his way up there. Looks like he's going to get the first down. And he will. Chains are moving.
It's a Buccaneer first down from the 31-yard line.
And we've seen Charlotte Country Day have some success tonight off of the option. We'll see if they continue to go to that here on this drive. And there's the give up the middle. Newman pushing forward, trying to get a couple of extra yards off of a swarm of Charlotte Latin defenders coming up on the combined tackle on that one. Under 10 minutes left to play in the second quarter. 21-0 in favor of Charlotte Latin. So 2nd and 4 upcoming for Charlotte Country Day. And again, starting to see some positive things from this Country Day offense. We'll see if they're able to prevent the penalty bug from biting them once again. That's been really the thing that's kept them from continuing some of their promising drives, as we'll get a timeout here. And we'll take this time again to say thank you, all of you out there on the internet, for joining us for our first live stream here at Charlotte Latin. Excited, thrilled, so many other words to describe our feelings of being out here tonight. We love it. We're hoping that you are enjoying it as well. And of course, it is our first time, so we would like to continue to get better, make this video and better quality, get you some natural sound of the field. Fortunately, we weren't able to do that for you tonight, but we'd like to continue to improve and give you some quality action tonight. If you can't make it out to the family, the friends that might not be in the Charlotte area, we're hoping you're enjoying it. Or if you just couldn't make it out tonight for whatever reason. As Charlotte Country Day coming back on, 2nd and 5. As it's flip in the Wildcat this time. Or McLaurin, excuse me, coming left side for a gain of maybe 1. So we'll have to see if Charlotte Country Day can continue to their drive here. Certainly a big moment for them. And of course, as I've already iterated, plenty of time left to play. But you got to think this is one that you you really need to have if you're the Buccaneers to continue a drive, and after you've started to figure some things out maybe. 3rd and 5 coming. The give once again to Newman. He gets hit and able to push forward. Looks like he's going to get the first down. He was stopped short of the first down at first, but it looks like he's going to, off of the would-be tackler, able to push his way up a couple more yards, and he will move the chains for the Buccaneers.
To the 48-yard line. Excuse me, 43-yard line. First down for the Buccaneers.
They give once again to Newman, and he is met by several Charlotte Latin defenders. Tim Newman goes nowhere on that one, as he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 11, we'll call it, upcoming for the Bucs, as we're under 8 minutes left to play in the first half. If you're just joining us, Charlotte Latin, the offense has gotten it going here in the early going. They've converted off of 3 of their 4 drives in this one to make it 21-0. And that'll be Q Cooper on the keep there. Excuse me, no, it's Newman again.
Third down.
In the shotgun is Hosmer. The play action pass looking for number 33, Broadus Roberson. But that one is overthrown for Roberson. Not going to get to it, as the punting unit for Charlotte Country Day is going to have to come on once again. Under 7 minutes left to play. And the offense of the Buccaneers stifled once again, as Stratford's going to get an opportunity to run here. He's going the wrong direction, though. He's coming to the left side. And he's going to lose a couple yards on that one, trying to go back to go forward, as that strategy doesn't work for him on that time around, as the senior is going to be stuffed there at about the 27-yard line. Would have probably been about the 30-yard line if he would have just stayed with where he was on the field, but he tried to cut back a little bit. But it doesn't seem to hasn't seemed to stop the Hawks thus far, as they've had plenty of success on offense. And a slant there looking for number 3, Sam Turner. And here we go, back in the shotgun once again.
And 2 flags were thrown. Legal procedure. False start is called against the Hawks. 5-yard penalty. Back to the 16.
A false start for Charlotte Latin. False start there, set the Hawks back 5 yards. In the shotgun once again is Hossman, where we see them pretty much for all of the night thus far. As Stratford going to get the give. He's going to break a would-be tackler. He's got plenty of room to run. He's at the 50. He's still on his feet, and he's going to streak down to the 20, the 15, 10, 5. No one's going to touch DeMarcus Stratford. Again, the senior taking it to the house. And this time he one-ups his earlier 70-yard run with about an 80-yard run this time. DeMarcus Stratford doing it all once again, putting the Hawks up 27-0. And it's been thanks to, again, DeMarcus Stratford, the senior running back headed to Harvard, able to break a tackle there. It would have been maybe a 5-yard gain, but it was able to break a tackle. And then the speed, just the speed of Stratford in the middle of the field. The free safety wasn't able to catch up with him. No one was going to catch up with him. As Stratford takes him to the house, Bowen on for the extra point. And it's good, 28-0 in favor of Charlotte Latin. As it's 6:24 left to play in the second quarter of action. And again, if you're joining us, here's a recap. DeMarcus Stratford, DeMarcus Stratford, DeMarcus Stratford, and again, DeMarcus Stratford. 4 touchdowns for the senior DeMarcus Stratford, as we'll get a shot of the scoreboard for proof. We're not making this up. 28-0, 6:24 left to play in the second quarter. And Charlotte Country Day has had their opportunities. They really have. They've, just as we've kind of said, they've had some penalties that have really been costly for them, but they've put together some promising things on offense. But unfortunately for the Buccaneers, it's the Latin defense has been able to do enough, and obviously the penalties have been huge. As Charlotte Latin 28-0. And thank you again for all you joining us. The kick coming, as that one's going to sail back to the back of the end zone. And if you're in the stream right now, you need to go tell your friends and family that DeMarcus Stratford is just having a dominant performance tonight. You're seeing just an all-around performance from him tonight. A special play from him, the senior for Charlotte Latin. But of course, still a ton of time left to play for Charlotte Country Day to put some positive things together. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but it's true. I mean, there's been some things that Country Day has done well, and if they can just continue to improve upon those things and continue to just get better in those areas, they're going to have something here, as the fake is going to get a couple of yards, more than a couple of chunky yards, as they fake it to flip on the end around, and Hospin comes to the right side, and he finds number 15, Owen Hunter, for Charlotte Country Day. A big gain there for the Buccaneers, and we've seen them be able to do that tonight. They're certainly capable of it. We'll have to see if they're able to sustain this now. First and 10 coming from the 42-yard line of Charlotte Country Day. The fake again, and that was a dangerous play there for Hospin as he decides to give it to Flip on the right side. Excuse me, Rylan McLaurin that time. And they fake the run, and he comes to his right. Looked like he wanted to run, and at the last second decides to give it to McLaurin. And that could have been really dangerous for Charlotte Country Day, but unfortunately for them, McLaurin's able to haul that one in and just keep it at a 1-yard loss. That's probably one that Hosmer should probably just throw away. In the shotgun once again. Looking downfield, he's got a man. Number 43, Walker Fink, coming over. Got a hand on that one. A nice defensive play for Fink. The linebacker that also sees some action in running back at the halfback position for Charlotte Latin as well when DeMarcus Stratford's not back there for the Hawks. So here we go, 3rd and 11 upcoming for Country Day. They give it to McLaurin. Not much going over there as a gain of maybe 2 yards as they're going to be short. 4th down as the Buccaneers will bring out the special teams unit once again. As we're at 4 minutes, 40 seconds left to play in the first half of action. Going to his left on the putt. Looks like Stratford wants to field that one. There is a flag on the play. Looked like Stratford maybe wanted to just let that one go at the last minute, deciding to try and scoop that one up and make something happen. He'll be brought down at the 26-yard line of Charlotte Country Day. Of their own 26-yard line. So here we go once again. Let's see if the Hawks are able to continue and build upon their earlier success. Pretty much been able to do whatever they want thus far on the offensive side of the ball, and it's been thanks to DeMarcus Stratford. They'll give it to him again. That time he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1 yard. As it looks like Charlotte Latin might be content to just head to the locker room with the 28-0 advantage, as we're at 3 minutes 40 seconds left to play, and they don't appear to be in any hurry. Taking their time here. And they'll fake it to Stratford this time. Sumichrast rolling to his left. Instead, he'll just throw that one away. So 3rd and 11 upcoming for the Hawks. 3 minutes, 16 seconds left to play in the first half. Back to pass is Sumichrast. That one's batted down. A couple Country Day defensive linemen were in the area trying to maybe make the big play and get an interception there, set him up with some good field position, but instead it does fall to the ground. 4th down, and the punting unit will come on for Charlotte Latin. And certainly some time here for the Buccaneers to get a score before the half, and that would be big, of course, because they will receive to open the second half. Here's the punt. And that'll find its way out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. And as I said, we'll have to see if Charlotte Country Day is able to maybe get a score here. That would certainly be big for their chances, as they're down by 4 touchdowns, but you got to think of it. You just got to get one at a time. You got to be patient, not try and get it back all at once. And it would be big for them to, if they can, get a score here before the end of the half and then be able to receive the ball to start the second half. So here we go. Let's see what Hosmer can do. A double reverse this time, It's Flip on the carry, makes a man miss, gets a couple blockers. He's on the left side. He's at the 40, still on his feet at the 30-yard line. Finally brought out Tawan Flip off the double reverse. They've been doing that all night tonight. We've seen a couple of reverse places. We haven't seen them a double reverse, though. Instead of they've been, as I said, done it quite a few times, but that time they pitch it one more time than usual, maybe catching the Charlotte Latin defense off guard, as Tawan Flip also able to put a couple of nice moves, oohing and awing the crowd over there for the Buccaneers. Nice gain as Newman will get it this time, fighting his way to the 30-yard line. Kevin's Gramont on the tackle. They fake it to Newman, back to pass. Oh, and he had a man streaking in the middle. That was Rylan McLaurin at the 16-yard line. He was there, but Hosmer not quite able to put that one on target. So 3rd down, and we'll call it 7 yards coming for Charlotte Country Day. Two minutes, 8 seconds left to play. They fake it. McLaurin to the left side. Off of the fake to Newman on the right. McLaurin keeps it himself, and you got to think Charlotte Country Day is going to go for it here on 4th down and about 3, as it would be a long field goal attempt. But also, just for the sake of wanting to start to put some scores on the board and cut away at that Charlotte Latin lead, as they lead by 4 touchdowns right now. They fake it to Newman. Pass, and it looks like it's going to be called in there. That's number 15. We'll find it here on the roster eventually. Owen Hunter with the catch for the Buccaneers, and that's a big one. And able to come across his body. That was certainly not an easy catch for Hunter, as he had to come over a little bit across his body, but able to haul that one in and give the Buccaneers the 1st down, as we're at 1 minute, 12 seconds left to play in the first half. They find him again, and piling into the end zone. That's number 33, Brodus Roberson for the Buccaneers. I was about to say that was Hunter again, but instead it was Brodus Roberson falling into the end zone off of the catch. It looks like they go for 2 now, and they're going to be called here for the penalty, maybe illegal formation coming against the Buccaneers, trying the old swinging gate, if I could say it right, formation were the Buccaneers. Oh, it's a delay of game, excuse me. And that would have been, it's only 1 extra point for Charlotte Country Day, but, you never want to just say it's only when it's points on the board, but also it's a momentum shifter as well, and it's tough to have that one called back. The field goal unit coming on instead, and he'll put it through the uprights. Will Connor Fewen there to make it 28-7 in favor of Charlotte Latin, leading this one by 3 touchdowns, as we're with 1 minute and 3 seconds left to play in the first half. And we'll see what Coach McNulty has in store for his team here. We thought they might just be content in their last drive to head into the locker room with the 4-score advantage, but it looks like maybe we'll see. Last time they instead decided to put something together, throwing the ball But we'll see what they decide to do here. They've certainly had tons of success. If maybe they can get a breakaway run from Stratford, maybe they instead decide to try and put one more score on the board before the half. They've certainly got time to do it the way their offense has been moving today.
Kicking off for the Buccaneers will be number 85,
Edward Bellinger back to kick for the Buccaneers. A little squib kick here. Fielding it at about the 23-yard line, just stripped. The ball is fumbled, but it'll find its way out of bounds. Fortunately for the Hawks, number 7, Carter Stockwell, was in on the return for the Hawks on that one. And he was stripped by one of the special team members of Charlotte Country Day, but fortunately, like I said, the ball finding its way out of bounds as Charlotte Latin will take over at its own 33-yard line. 58 seconds left to play in the first half. In the I formation. They give it to Stratford, coming right side, gets a couple blocks, cutting it back, still on his feet. He's off to the 40, the 35, 30, makes another man miss, the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Are you kidding me? DeMarcus Stratford. Unbelievable. Oh, but there's a flag on the play. A penalty marker at the 48-yard line. This one might be coming back. Unbelievable, though. I'm watching the replay here. DeMarcus Stratford, 1 man, 2 man, 3 man, 4 men, making a miss, 5 at the end. Unbelievable. The cutback running of DeMarcus Stratford, but unfortunately that one's going to be called back, a holding called against the Hawks. But wow, that was a run for the highlight reel for sure. DeMarcus Stratford, unbelievable. I mean, the speed of this kid, making people miss and being able to change directions on a dime, going to the right, deciding he sees something better on the left side, cutting it back, making people miss. This kid is special, and he's going to go places at the next level. Excited to see what he does at Harvard. So we'll try it again as we catch our breath here at 42 seconds left to play. Pushing ahead. Looks like he's going to be close to the first down marker. That time it was number 7, Carter Stockwell, getting the running opportunity on the left side, and he pushes his way, and they will move the chains on that one. Timeout, Charlotte Latin.
Timeout on the field called by Charlotte Latin and the Hawks. Let's continue to celebrate Coach McNulty tonight, who holds 15 state track championships.
And again, let's just kind of reiterate, Coach McNulty in his final regular season game for Charlotte Latin here at Patton Stadium. What a special career he has had. All the state championships he's won, not only in football, and of course the most recent one coming last season, the defending champs Charlotte Latin Hawks out here tonight with Coach McNulty with his state, as I was going to say, his state championships in football, but also in track and field, and you don't see many people that can have that type of success in 2 sports as Coach McNulty has had. But from talking with him earlier in the week, I mean, what a man, and he really prides himself in being a molder of men. He takes such pride in seeing the players that he's coached at the next level, collegiately, professionally, but also just the fact that he sees those kids that he's coached and seeing them with families and with jobs. As Charlotte Latin, a pass intended for number 81, Grayson Clements. But yeah, Coach McNulty, just, I know it brings him so much joy to see some of the alumni here and seeing their families, the jobs they've gone on to hold, the companies they've started. And he takes such pride in that. Not only the kids that have made it in athletics, being able to, and there's been quite a few of them, collegiately and professionally in football, that he's coached. but also those people that have done great things in their community. As Charlotte Latin on the give to the left side. The screen to number 23, Ryan Browse on that one. Moving the chains once again as we've got 21 seconds left to play. Looks like the Hawks are, proving me to be wrong once again, as they're going to maybe try and put something together here to end the first half of action, not settling for the 28-7 advantage. They fake the run, back to pass to Sumakras. Looks like he wants to take it himself. He'll get maybe 2 yards on that carry as 13 seconds left to play. So maybe 2 plays left in this one if they can hurry. Maybe if they can get 6 or 7 yards on an out play and get out of bounds. And then maybe they can try one more Hail Mary before the half to try and get one more score on the board. They're going to have to get out of bounds, though, if they're going to try and go for 2. Looks like they will. They do complete it, but he's not going to get out of bounds. Oh, they will. Looks like they will mark him out of bounds. No, it looks like, okay, I thought that the Hawks didn't have any timeouts left. They do. They have 1 left to play. He didn't get out of bounds, but Coach McNulty coming over to get the timeout to stop the clock at 8 seconds left, and the Hawks will get one more opportunity here to try and put one more on the board before this first half ends. As the 2 teams come over to the sidelines. Thanks again to all of you that are joining us. As we've said earlier in the broadcast, of course, this being our first time doing this, and we are excited, thrilled to be a part of Coach McNulty's final regular season game, and excited to bring this action to you. And sounds like they're giving us a little shout out on the PA announcer as well, just telling us that they can find us on YouTube at Charlotte Latin LiveStream. So we thank them over there on the booth. Thank you for that. Giving us some shout outs. And yeah, we're excited to be doing this. Of course, this is our first time, so we anticipate getting better at this and continuing to provide you great action. If this is something that is something we can continue to do, we'd love to do it for you guys all at home that can't make it out to the games, whether you be friends and family in another part of the country. As well, they give there to number 7, Carter Stockwell again, and a smart play there by Stockwell, able to get down to the ground before time expires so that Coach McNulty is able to get one more timeout there and give them an opportunity to get one last play in before the half. A really heady play by Carter Stockwell. I mean, that's something that a lot of receivers don't think about as the time is ticking down. He could have just, caught the ball and tried to get a couple of yards there, and the clock would have ran out, and that would have been the way the first half ended. But instead, he had the wherewithal to know that he needed to get down and give his team another opportunity to get one last play, and that's exactly what happens. As 1 second left to play, and they're going to set themselves up for a nice field goal here. It'll be about we'll have to see the spot, maybe about a 28, 29-yard field goal attempt to get 3 more points on the board for Charlotte Latin before the first half ends. So yeah, 29-yard attempt for Charlotte, the 39-yard attempt, for Charlotte Latin. Snap is down, attempt is up. And it's just left of the post, no good for the Hawks, and that'll be the end of the first half. Charlotte Latin will enter the locker room with a comfortable 28-7 advantage off of 4 touchdowns from DeMarcus Stratford. And we'll see what happens in the second half. Of course, still plenty of time left to play in this one. Plenty of time for the Buccaneers to have an opportunity to get back in this one. But we'll go to the half again, 28-7. Thanks again for all of you that are joining us out there on the internet. Stick with us for the second half. We'll be right back with you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Second half action coming back at you. 28-7 in favor of Charlotte Latin was the tale of the first half. Country Day, certainly some opportunities to be had, and they were able to get one touchdown in before the half. But it's been penalties that's really kept them from making a larger impact in this game, as it's been pretty much all Charlotte Latin thus far. But again, certainly a lot of time. It's never over, and you never want to write off a game too early, and it's usually when you do it like that, that's when it comes back to bite you. And Charlotte Country Day's been able to move the ball. If they can just get a little bit more consistent, they'll be in certainly a good spot, as they'll start their first drive of the second half from the 20-yard line. And before this play gets underway, we want to give a big shout out to Janice Privet. We were told you're watching the live stream. Thank you for watching. A couple of the Charlotte Latin people coming over telling us that you're watching, and she was the longtime administrative assistant here at Charlotte Latin. Thanks for watching. 44 years of service here at Charlotte Latin. Love to have you here on the live stream, and hope you're enjoying it, and hope you all are enjoying it out there. And we're so excited that we've had people watching here on the first time around that we're doing this. And as we've kind of talked about, we'd love to continue to just make this better for you guys, better quality. As I say, get some natural sound of the field, the players, and continue to deliver some quality entertainment for you guys. And get you guys to see this team that you love. And if you're from Charlotte Country Day, give you the opportunity to see your team tonight as well. And so offsides called against the Hawks. 5-yard penalty and a first down. As we're just underway here in the second half, if you're rejoining us for this one, 11:15 left to play in the third quarter. They give to Newman this time. Newman gets a gain of about 2 or 3 yards there. It'll maybe 4. We'll say it's 2nd and 6 on this one. Back to passes. Country Day. Third down upcoming for Country Day. I know they'd certainly like to, and I apologize, certainly I think it's kind of my word tonight. It's a word I keep iterating. They'd like to get a first down here. They're going to go with the option. They pitch it to Newman. Left side gets a couple blocks, and he's fighting his way forward. It looks like he's going to have enough there to move the chains. Tim Newman getting the carry there for the 5-yard first down run. And as we said in the first half, if you're Country Day, you got to start to get these scores one play at a time, one drive at a time. You can't try and chew off more than you can take all at once. That's not how it's going to be done. As they fake the run, they go to the left side now to Twan Flip, and another first down for the Buccaneers. And they've been able to do this tonight. They've been able to get some quality plays. It's just been an issue sustaining those drives. But starting to see some life here from this Country Day offense. They fake the pitch again. This time it's Rylan McLaurin coming left side. A flag on the play. Looks like they're going to get called for holding. This one appears as if it's going to be coming back. And they will. They'll get the Buccaneers for holding on that one. And again, I mean, we've said it a number of times tonight. It's been the penalties that have really hurt Charlotte Country Day tonight. And that's a big penalty that'll move them back to the 45-yard line. They'll repeat first down, but this time it'll be 1st and 15. As Hosmer has his work cut out for him now. Bringing McLaurin in motion, and a flag again. And this time it's going to be a false start called against Country Day. And that'll back them up another 5 yards, facing 1st and 20 now. They fake it to Newman, back to passes Hosmer, plenty of time. Finally, they're starting to get to him. He had McLaurin at the 42-yard line, but unable to haul that one in. Hosmer had a ton of time back there in the backfield, but the Latin defense finally able to get some penetration and get to him. Scrambling a little bit in the backfield, trying to find McLaurin. But again, that one falls to the field of play, resulting in 2nd and 20 upcoming for Charlotte Country Day. They bring McLaurin in motion. Again, plenty of time in the backfield. He was looking for number 33, Brodus Roberson. But that one will fall to the feet of Roberson, not get to him. Give credit to the offensive line of Country Day. They're been able to hold up the attackers, the rushers of the blitzers, I should say, of Charlotte Latin thus far. Giving their quarterback in Hosmer some time to pass, but unable to find the receivers downfield, as we'll get a timeout here for Charlotte Country Day, as we're at 8:55 left to play in the third quarter. As it's 28-7 is still our score here at Patton Stadium.
Larry, of course, the high school quarterback. She was the cheerleader. They have 3 sons, alumni sons here tonight. Colin from 1992.
And the PA announcer coming over, talking about Coach McNulty and his family, his wife, together here with him tonight, of course, celebrating 49 years of marriage. And congratulations to them on that. And also their 3 sons here. Of course, Coach McNulty coached all 3 of those sons here at Charlotte Latin, and I'm sure that brought him a lot of pride and pleasure to be able to do that as well. The give to Newman this time up the middle. Not much going there, maybe a yard for Country Day. And that'll bring out the punting unit once again. Stratford will go back deep to receive this one, along with Trip Hughes on the left side. Going to his left. That one looks like it'll find its way out of bounds. But no, Stratford will field it. But brought down. Looked like that one might find its way out of bounds, but Stratford instead able to field that one off of the bounce. But loses maybe a yard off of the carry. That'll start the drive for Charlotte Latin at their own 20-yard line. Excited to see this young man, DeMarcus Stratford, get some more carries. He's just been absolutely electric tonight. Sumichrast back to pass. And it's intercepted. Looks like they're going to take it all the way. Country Day on the board again. That's number 24. Graham Mitchell with the interception, but there is a flag on the play. And it looks like it's going to go against Latin, so the touchdown will stand for Country Day. I was about to say, was the flag penalty bug, whatever you want to call it, going to bite Country Day once again, but this time it avoids them. They get the score off of the interception. And again, that was Graham Mitchell. It looked like that one was deflected, and Mitchell was just at the right spot at the right time. They go for two. They give it this time to Mitchell. So he scores on the interception, and then they give it to him on the two-point conversion. Graham Mitchell makes this game 28-15. And wow, that's just a huge shift of momentum in this one. And thanks to the fine play of Graham Mitchell, able, as I said, to kind of just be at the right place at the right time off of the deflection, and just able to haul that one in and then take it all the way for the score. And then showing what he can do on offense as well with the two-point conversion. Graham Mitchell. Tremendous play from that young fella. 8:07 left to play in the third quarter, and ladies and gentlemen, we might have ourselves a ball game after all. 28-15. I already said that. It's a 13-point margin here at Patton Stadium. You gotta love commentating, don't you? The words, they just flow and you just get in the groove. As Country Day will kick it away to Latin. Let's see if they can respond with a score. Another little squib kick, on the left side. He's got a little bit of room on the right side if he can get around Stockwell, but and that time it was number 84 for Country Day in on the tackle. Will Payne with the big tackle, and that energized the Charlotte Country Day sidelines a little bit as well, as we're starting to see some life from the Buccaneers. If they can get a 3-and-out here, that would be huge for them, able to continue that momentum into this possession. They're going to have to stop Stratford, though, as I'm sure they're going to give it to him. No, this time they'll fake it to Stratford, to Sumichrast, I'm sure. I'm sure we're going to be seeing Stratford on this drive, and they're going to have to deal with that weapon of Charlotte Latin. But this time, Sumichrast will keep it himself off the fake from Stratford. He'll go get a gain of about a yard. 2nd and 9 upcoming. 7:34 left to play in the third quarter. Again, 28-15. If you're just joining us, off of an interception by Graham Mitchell, taking it to the house, and then the two-point conversion, they go to Mitchell again. We got ourselves a ball game. Sumichrast keeps it to himself again. Gets all the way up to the 42-yard line. As the senior quarterback, keeping it himself again, gets all the way up to the 41-yard line. 3rd and 1 upcoming. And you got to think this would be a huge stop for Country Day if they, as I said, if they can keep them in a 3-and-out here. They give to Stratford. And plenty of room there. There's a flag. This one might be coming back, but he's going to take it. 10-5, touchdown. I think this one's coming back, and Stratford knows it. He was on the run, and this kind of shows you how fast he is. He saw the flag, and he had already got ahead of all the Country Day defenders, and he was looking back. He knew there was a flag, but he was already at about the 35-yard line ahead of so many Country Day defenders that he just looked back and kind of said, yeah, this one's coming back. Oh, my goodness. It just shows you the speed on this kid. As it's going to be a block in the back called against Charlotte Latin. That will be the costly penalty that will bring him back for a 3rd and 12. It would have been Tamarcus Stratford's 5th touchdown of the game, and 3rd I'll call it long touchdown. He had a 70-yard touchdown and about an 80-yard touchdown in the first half. So they'll try it again, 3rd and 12. Sumichrast back to pass. He's got Stockwell. He overthrows him, though, as that will fall to the ground. And the punting unit will come on for the Hawks. And again, starting to feel some momentum change in this one. We'll see if Country Day can convert again as they're just down 13. The fans over on the Country Day side starting to sense that their team, they have a chance in this one. Not too much to cheer about in the first half, but starting to put the things that they did well in the second half together. Now it's off the hands. It's still on the ground. It's loose. Still hasn't been recovered. Riley McLaurin got a hand on it, and there's still no call on whose ball it is. And Latin recovers it. Wow, a huge play. Oh, so unfortunate for Country Day. Riley McLaurin back there to receive, and that one just went off of his hands. And seeing the replay now, quite a few guys got an opportunity on this one, and then finally you saw the dog pile, a couple players in there on that one. And it looked like a nice play from number 81, Grayson Clements, to really make that difficult for, I'm not sure if he was the one that recovered, but made it difficult for a couple of the Country Day guys to get to that one. So Latin will take over again. It's Stratford fighting his way. A couple of Country Day defenders there trying to get the ball loose. And I believe it was number 13, Harrison Flowhouse, that will get credit for the fumble recovery. The big play for Charlotte Latin, and that's, it's a critical shift in momentum again. Right when Country Day was starting to feel some life and like they could get back in this one, that's just a costly mistake. We'll see if Latin can make them pay for it as they give to Stratford. They're able to hold him up again. It's about a 2-yard gain on that one. Stephen Lofstetter on the stop for the Buccaneers. As we've got a 3rd and 8 upcoming for the Hawks. 5 minutes and 6 seconds and counting left to play in the third quarter. They give to Stratford again. He's got all types of room on the left. He's going to take it himself again. No flags. Touchdown. Charlotte Latin on the board again. 34-7 is our score. And you guessed it. It's DeMarcus Stratford, his 5th touchdown of this game. That time going untouched for the 18-yard score, I believe it was. And Bowen will come on for the point after. Andrew Bowen. And it's up, and it's good. Adds another point to the board. 35-15 is now our score here at Patton Stadium. And again, just such a huge shifting of events. Country Day able to get an interception, take it to the house, was Graham Mitchell. And then they get a 2-point conversion to shorten the Charlotte Latin lead to 13 points. And that's the closest we had seen this score since early in the about midway point of the first quarter, I'd say. But then, and then Country Day able to come up with a nice defensive stop. But the mistake on the for the special teams off of a fumble, the Hawks able to recover and then punch it in for DeMarcus Stratford's 5th touchdown of this game to put this back at a 20-point game. We'll see how Country Day is able to respond here.
Donald to kick it off for Charlotte Latin and the Hawks. Back deep for the Buccaneers is number 5, Juan Flip.
Alexander Donald back to kick this one. He's been so good at putting it deep and making it difficult for the Buccaneers to receive. Twan Flip takes that one all the way up to about the 24-yard line, and that's where the Country Day drive will start.
Juan Flip coming up with the ball, and they'll mark it on the 23-yard line. First down.
And again, we're just so excited to have you all joining us tonight, all 39 of you out there. Thank you for listening to us, for sticking with us throughout tonight's twisting and turning action. We've seen a ton of big plays, great action tonight in Coach McNulty's last regular season game. They're looking downfield, and it's looked like it was going to be intercepted. The PA announcer coming over the loudspeakers saying interception, maybe, no. As it was Elijah Horton there at the 47-yard line. Oh, he had a chance at that one, and he knows it. Upset with himself. He got his hands on it. Looked like he was going to be able to haul that one in, but that one instead falls to the field of play. And another big break for Country Day. Let's see if they can build upon that. Get something going here on the drive. Another little trickeration here. That time they go to Rylan McLaurin off of the fake to Flip, but then they pitch it to McLaurin off the little shovel pass. He gets about 3 yards on that one.
To the 28-yard line, third down for the Buccaneers.
So a big third down upcoming. As we're starting to feel the temperature drop here at Patton Stadium. They fake it, looking left side, nearly tackled. Gets it away, fighting for a couple extra yards. Was number 15, Owen Hunter. They get really close to the first down marker. Doesn't look like they're going to get there, though. And it looks like Country Day might be looking to go for this one. A risky play, but it's just 4th and 1, and you gotta think this is one that they really need. Nope, it looks like instead they will punt it. I thought for a second there they might go for it. They still had Hoshmer out there. Looked like he wanted to have a chance to go for that one. Got to be careful, though, for the fake here. We've seen Country Day with some trickery tonight. They won't try it on the special teams end, though, as they punted away. Elijah Horton there to return that one right on the right side and able to get maybe 2 yards before heading out of bounds. As it's 35-15 is our score if you're just joining us. We've got 3 minutes and 43 seconds left to play in the third quarter. And the recap is, as it's been tonight over and over, DeMarcus Stratford, we've said his name a lot. We knew we'd say his name a lot. 5 touchdowns for the senior from Charlotte Latin. He's really carried his team tonight. Let's see if they go to him again. They do. He's coming left side with it. Fights for maybe 2 yards on that one.
Gain of 3 on the play. Second down coming up for the Hawks. 7 to go.
They give him 3 yards. It's 2nd and 7 upcoming for the Hawks. They're looking right side with it. And that pass was intended for number 13, Harrison Flowhouse.
Pass was intended for number 3 of the Hawks, Sam Turner, and it's incomplete. And a third down coming up.
So third down upcoming for the Hawks. As here we go, 3rd and 8 for the Hawks. Sumichrast back with Stratford there to his right. They'll give it to him again, finding a couple blockers there, and he's going to be very close to that first down marker, maybe a yard shy.
To the 42. Fourth down and 1 to go for the Hawks.
Let's see what they decide.
1 to go.
Thought maybe they might think about going for it, but instead they're going to be conservative here, not give Country Day a chance to get a big stop and get some more momentum. They will bring on the punting unit. Two minutes, 20 seconds left to play and counting in the third quarter. 35-15 in favor of the Hawks of Charlotte Latin. And a low snap there, nearly blocked. The sidelines of Charlotte Latin clamoring for a roughing the kicker. They're not going to get it, though. Andrew Bowen did fall to the ground. There was a Country Day defender getting in there, and Bowen fell to the ground. I'm not sure if he got a piece of his leg there or not. Bowen was trying to sell it, but they won't get the penalty. Country Day will take over at the 15-yard line. So 85 yards to go to try and cut this Charlotte Latin lead. They bring McLaurin in motion. They give to Newman. Fighting forward to the 21-yard line is Newman.
Tim Newman on to carry number 20 for the Buccaneers. And a gain of 5.
5-yard gain for Newman. 2nd and 5 upcoming. One minute, 30 seconds left to play in the third quarter. As Hoshmer in the gun, brings McLaurin in motion. They give to him going left side with he's got a couple blockers over there, but not going to find any running room is McLaurin.
Hand off and left side run for Ryland McLaurin, number 7. Back to the line of scrimmage he goes.
So a gain of maybe a yard for McLaurin on that one. 3rd and 9 upcoming. As this might be the last play of the third quarter. They fake the run, looking downfield, and it's intercepted by the Hawks at the 25, up to the 22. And we'll have to see. I wasn't able to see the number on that one. It was number 6, Alexander Donald with the interception. And another turnover for Country Day. Alexander Donald with the pick, getting about 7 yards on the return off the interception. And again, Charlotte Latin will get the ball deep in Charlotte Country Day field position on Charlotte Country Day's side of the field with an opportunity to score. They fake it to Stratford. Sumichrast keeps him himself. He's on the right side. Looks like he could score 5. Touchdown! Hawks, they score again. This time, it's Summacrast. And that'll put Charlotte Latin up 41-15. It's been DeMarcus Stratford for the entirety of tonight for Charlotte Latin on the scoring end. But this time, it's the quarterback keeping it himself, getting in on the action. Martin Summacrast with the score. About a 17-yard run from the senior. Makes it 41-15. Andrew Bowen on for the point after. And that one looks like it's no good. Hooked that one. So our score will remain 41-15. We've got 20 seconds left to play in the third quarter. So it was DeMarcus Stratford on the first 5 scores for the Hawks. But this time it's, it was DeMarcus Stratford. Getting myself all jumbled up here. It was DeMarcus Stratford for the first 5 touchdowns, and then it was the quarterback keeper, Martin Summacrast, with the touchdown there to make our score 41-15 here in the third quarter. We'll see if Country Day has a response. This is the largest lead of the night for Charlotte Latin. And it's been penalties and it's been turnovers for the Buccaneers. That's been the story of the reason why this game is not closer. They've played well. They've been able to put some things together, but they've shot themselves in the foot a couple of times tonight as Charlotte Latin is in control here, 41-15. And looks like that one will find its way out of bounds at the 1-yard line, so they'll have to re-kick this one. A little bit of a discussion, and this was something that we saw in the first half as well. I thought that the rule for high school was the same as we see in the pros, that if it goes out of bounds before finding its way into the end zone, that it's the offensive team takes it at the 40-yard line. But instead, we saw a re-kick by Charlotte Latin, and okay, it looks like they're going to call a touchback instead. Maybe I guess it did find its way out the back of the end zone, and I think that's what those Country Day players were protesting. They thought that one found its way out of bounds before it reached the end zone, but nevertheless, it will result in a touchback. Country Day taking over at the 20. They give to Newman.
Through the middle, number 20,
Tim Newman at the 29-yard line. A nice run there for Newman. That'll bring up 2nd and 1 for Country Day. We'll get a timeout, though. We'll get a timeout, and that timeout is the end of the third quarter, as our score here at Patton Stadium is 41-15 in favor of Charlotte Latin. And it's been DeMarcus Stratford. It's been a lot of him, and then it's been the eager play of the defense of Charlotte Latin as well, able to force some turnovers and convert off of the advantageous field position. That's been the story. As we take a short break here before they'll switch sides, and we'll be back here for the fourth quarter here shortly. Michael McLam, Ryan Gwill joining you here tonight. Again, hoping you're enjoying the stream. We know the chat isn't available for the stream, but if you're liking what you're hearing, let us know on Twitter, on Facebook. Let the athletic department know. We'd love to continue to do this. As back to pass. Looking for it on the right side. Looks like we've got a change in quarterback here. It's Tyler Shearer for Country Day. And he was the one that got the majority of the snaps in their last timeout, and we thought that we might see him again tonight. He was named the South Charlotte Player of the Week in their last timeout against, I believe it was the Hickory Hawks, that on their senior night was the team that they played. But we've seen, up until this point, we've seen Hosmerp, back there at the helm for Country Day, but it looks like they're going to go to Shearer now for Country Day. And we'll see how long they continue with him if he is the one that ends up closing this game for Country Day. So here we go, first down. Second down should be. It looks like they haven't changed the marker there on the field. They're looking deep. There was a man out there. That was McLaurin. Not quite able to get under that one, though. And the quarterback on defense this time. That was his brother that time, Andrew Summacrast. Sorry to the Summacrast family. Don't want to get the siblings mixed up here. Give credit where credit is due. The brother, Andrew Summacrast, in coverage that time for Charlotte Latin, able to stay on McLaurin and prevent the completion there. And it looks like it is second down upcoming for Country Day. They fake the give to Newman. They give it to McLaurin, coming right side with a couple blocks, giving some running room. Looks like he'll be about a yard short of the first down. Yep, it's just a yard short. We'll call it 31 because that's what it is. 10:50 left to play in this one. Again, if you're just joining us, 41-15 in favor of the Hawks of Charlotte Latin. And Country Day, they've got to think about playing with some pace here. They've got to get some things going if they want to try and get back in this one. They give it to Newman. Looks like he's going to get enough there for the first down. And it will be a first down. Move the chains. But Country Day is going to have to get playing with a little bit more pace here, as I said, if they want to try and get a chance to get back in this one, as they're not playing quite fast enough right now if they want a chance. As we're just over 10 minutes left to play, and they're down by multiple touchdowns. They're going to have to put up some scores in a hurry. They fake it to Newman. They instead are looking for number 18, Thomas Shields, over here on the left side, but that one's dropped by Shields. So they'll try it again. Shearer back in the gun for the Buccaneers. They bring a man in motion. Back to pass. And that one's, looks like it was deflected. Thought maybe that might have been stripped by the Hawks, but it looked like Shearer, his arm was going forward, so it won't be counted as a fumble. Instead, it falls to the ground, an incompletion for the Buccaneers, and that's going to bring up third and long for Country Day with 9:54 remaining in the game. So here's Shearer again, looking downfield, got a man, and that's number 6, John Demas, on the reception. And I would think Country Day is going to go for this one, as they're just 2 yards short, it looks like, at the 49-yard line. You got to think that Country Day is going to go for it, and they will. So here we go, a big play for Country Day. If they want to have a chance in this one, they're going to have to convert here. Looks like they'll pass it. They fake it. Coming up is Shearer, going to run for it. Oh, and he's going to be really close for that one. It looks like he's going to get enough there for the first down. But a nice play by Shearer. After the pocket was collapsing, able to scramble and get the first down. The senior quarterback for Country Day converts on 4th down to keep this drive alive, as we're at 9 minutes, 38 seconds left to play. 41-15 is our score. They give to Newman on the right side, cutting inside now. A gain of 4 or 5 yards.
On the carry, number 20 for the Buccaneers, Tim Newman.
And again, Country Day has got to think about playing a little bit faster here. Not quite quick enough up to the line right now for Country Day. A penalty marker down. And they'll get him for a false start this time. That'll move the Buccaneers back another 5 yards. 2nd down and 8 upcoming. They give it to Newman, fighting forward, a couple extra yards there off of a couple would-be Charlotte Latin tacklers. He gets to about the 40-yard line. It looks like the 39-yard line is where they'll spot it. 2 yards to go for the first down on 3rd down. 8:22 left to play. Again, 41-15 in favor of Charlotte Latin. They give to Newman, fighting forward. Looks like he's going to have enough for the first down. And he will. They'll move the chains. Under 8 minutes left to play now. Again, Newman with it, coming in, smashing it up to the 29-yard line. Looks like he'll be about a yard or two short of the first down. Brendan Riley in on the stop for Charlotte Latin. And the clock continues to tick, and that's the enemy of the Buccaneers at this point, as time is on the side of Charlotte Latin with the multiple score lead. This time they'll pass, is looking downfield. They got a man, the reception, he's got a little bit of running room there. They'll bring him down at the 9-yard line. That was number 80, Reese Ryan for Country Day on the reception. They'll put him down for first and goal at the 9-yard line. In the gun, they give, no, they don't give it. Keep it himself as Shearer. He's got a little bit of running room on the right side, finding his way forward. They fake it to Newman. And Shearer takes it on the right side to the 2-yard line. 6 minutes and 15 seconds left to play now. As Country Day hoping to punch one in here, and they got to be thinking about maybe an onside kick in their next time out, as they're going to need some more possessions and make some of those possessions forcefully happen. They give to Newman, fighting forward. I don't believe he got it. And no, they will give it to him. It's a touchdown for Country Day. Newman will get credit for that one. Tim Newman scores for Country Day to make this one 41-21. And it looks like they're going to try for two again as they hurry out for the 2-point conversion. No, it looks like they'll bring it back and just go for one. They had some success on 2-point conversions earlier in the game. One that was called back because of a penalty, but the second one was converted. This time they'll just take the one, and it is good to make this one 41-22 now in favor of Latin. 5 minutes, 43 seconds left to play. So, yeah, I would think Country Day is coming out here thinking they need an onside kick, try and get the ball back. We'll see if that is indeed what they decide to do. Not certain how many timeouts they have left, but at this point you've got to kind of start making your possessions happen, as it's just tough if you're going to play it, if you're just going to continue to kick it away and hope for 3 and outs, especially when Charlotte Latin has DeMarcus Stratford back there in the backfield. And Sumichrast, too. I mean, he's been effective on the ground as well. We saw him with the touchdown in the Hawks' last drive. So we'll see what Country Day decides to do. Back to punt it away is Edward Dellinger, the sophomore for Country Day. And they will just kick it away. Latin was prepared for the onside, but Country Day instead decides to kick it away, and Latin's possession will start at the 20-yard line. As we're just 5 minutes, 43 seconds left to play. Here in this one, Latin taking over again at the 20-yard line. The Hawks lead 41-22. And they'll bring Stratford over to take this one in the Wildcat. Gain of maybe 2 yards on that one.
And the handoff to carry to DeMarcus Stratford, a gain of 5 on the play. Second down coming up for the Hawks at the 25-yard line.
And if this score does hold up, you got to think that this is really a statement win for Charlotte Latin, because, I mean, they're sitting there at 5-4, hoping to get a win here and impress the committee ahead of the playoffs. Stratford will keep it himself, and I tell you what, you might not want to leave just yet, because DeMarcus Stratford might just do something else that's incredible tonight. We've seen him quite a few plays. I'm still kind of reeling over that play nearing the end of, or it was the start of maybe the second half. it was either the end of the first half or the start of the second half. Stratford just making all kinds of people miss, cutting to the right, then back to the left. Unfortunately, it was called back to as a result of a penalty, but that run was one for the highlight reels. As they'll give it to him again, find some running room. It looks like he's going to go to the races again. 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. DeMarcus Stratford does it again. And wow, did he hear us up here in the booth? Did the young man somehow hear me up here saying that he might do something incredible again because he delivers? Wow. I mean, call that what you will. Stratford speaking it into existence. I don't know what you want to call it. Stratford does it again for the score, 47-22 in favor of Charlotte Latin. The extra point upcoming as there's 4 minutes and 34 seconds left to play, and we saw the well, I'll get to that in a minute as the extra point coming. And the point after is good. We saw the stream up to as much as 45, 47, I believe, was the high mark tonight. And we saw some people start to dip out there as Latin looked like they were just going to try and start to eat away at that clock. But then DeMarcus Stratford electrifies the live stream again, doing it again for his 5th touchdown of the night. And if you didn't hear me earlier in the broadcast, yes, this man is going to play at the next level, and he's doing it at Harvard. So not just an excellent player on the field, but also an excellent student. And we wish him the best. I know Latin, the fans here, are going to miss him as he's been a human highlight reel for the Hawks this season and for really his entire career here at Charlotte Latin. And we'll have to get the official mark on where he's at in yards in his career. But he had eclipsed the 4,000 mark, and he might be approaching the 5,000 mark as well. It was 4,000 earlier this season. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the updated statistic ahead of this one, but I'm sure it's probably close, if not over 5,000 yards now. As Latin will kick it away again. Over on the left side, that will find its way out of bounds for the touchback. 48-22 is our score in favor of Charlotte Latin. A big night for the seniors here as they were recognized before the game. And, of course, you got to think that they want to come out and show out for Coach McNulty in his final regular season game here. The longtime head coach that's just had such tremendous success. Of course, they won the state title last season, and he's done it, I believe it's 9 times, 9 state titles in football. I can get that number here in a moment, and then a number of titles in track as well. As this one comes over on the left side to number 5, Tawan Flip.
Gain of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7 to go for the Buccaneers.
4 minutes, 27 seconds left to play. Rolling to his right, looking downfield, finds a man, and looks like it'll be enough for 1st down, but there is a flag on the play. We'll have to see what this one is. And it will go against Country Day. And an eligible receiver downfield for the Buccaneers will push them back again. Back at the 18-yard line now for Charlotte Country Day with 4 minutes, 18 seconds left to play. 48-22 in favor of the Hawks of Charlotte Latin. Shearer still back at quarterback for Country Day. It's over to McLaurin now on the right side. A couple blockers, a little bit of running room now. Makes a man miss. He's at the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, still on his feet. 25, 20, 15, 5. Touchdown, Country Day. Rylan McLaurin takes it to the house for the Buccaneers on really their first breakaway play, and that was an exciting one for Rylan McLaurin, getting a couple blocks, making a couple of defenders miss for the 72-yard score, I believe it was, for Latin. It looks like Country Day hurrying out, trying to get the Latin special teams unit out of place and go for two. They will. They give it to Mitchell again. We saw him earlier do it, and he does it again. But there is a flag on the play. And it's been the thing that's hurt Country Day so much tonight. Is it against the Buccaneers again? And it instead will go against Latin offsides. So that one will be declined by the Buccaneers. The 2-point conversion will count. And just like that, it's 48-30. So the 2-point conversion starting to pay off for Country Day. They make it an 18-point mark. So you get two touchdowns and a field goal, and you'll be a point short. Excuse me. You get a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and another touchdown and a field goal. You'll be there. My cameraman, my good buddy Ryan, laughing at me over here. You got to love it, though. 48-30, 18-point margin, not a 17-point margin for Charlotte Latin here. And thanks again, guys, out there here watching us out there on the internet. Hope you're enjoying the stream as much as we're enjoying doing it. I mean, I love this. This is what we love to do, and we love to highlight youth athletics. Tonight it's football, and we love to highlight it all across this great city of Charlotte, North Carolina. As Country Day will kick it away down 18, 3 minutes, 52 seconds left to play. As that one's going to go out of bounds, Latin will take control at the 20-yard line. And we'd like to note, all you guys out there on the live stream, if you're not here tonight, if you couldn't for whatever reason make it out tonight, you should come tomorrow, 1 o'clock here at Charlotte Latin. The NCISAA state final for field hockey. The Hawks of Charlotte Latin will be taking on crosstown conference rival Providence Day for the final to take home the championship. So if you can, make it out to that one. I'm sure the ladies on the field hockey team would appreciate your support. Starting to get some wind up here in the booth, blowing my notes away. As they'll give it to Stratford there for maybe a gain of 1 as I try and get situated up here as we just got a gust of wind out of nowhere. 2nd and 9 upcoming. And we're at 3 minutes, 27 seconds left to play, and obviously Latin just trying to eat away at that clock as much as they can. Sumacrast the give to Stratford. Stopped by the Buccaneers for no gain. That'll bring up 3rd down.
And off the carry, that's number 33, Javaris Buford on the run for the Hawks to the 20.
Now that was Javaris Buford, not Stratford. Excuse me. Getting the carry that time. It stopped at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down upcoming and 10 for the Hawks. As we're at 2 minutes, 45 seconds left to play now in this one. And a change at quarterback, too, for the Hawks I didn't mention. Number 10, Charles Watson, the sophomore, in at center for Charlotte Latin. And we'll get a timeout here as the two sides will talk things over. And again, we've been talking about it throughout the night, but let's talk about it again. Legendary. I mean, we say legendary, and that's not an exaggeration. This guy is a legendary, one of the best to do it in the Charlotte metropolitan area for so many years. Such a sustained career is head coach McNulty. Congratulations to him on an incredible career. And as I started to say at the beginning of this broadcast, had the opportunity to talk with him earlier, and I kind of asked about his plans after leaving Latin, and he kind of really made it clear to me that he's not he's going to enjoy spending more time with his grandkids, his family, other opportunities that he might have, but he's not looking too far ahead. He wanted to get a win tonight, get a statement win, impress the committee of the NCIS AA and get into the playoffs. So, I mean, that says a lot about the character, the principles that he has. Not done until the job is over, as Stratford started to say he might get loose for another highlight reel run. He doesn't, though. He's brought down. Stephen Payne for Country Day in on the stop. And we're happy that so many of you have come out to listen to us on the live stream, that you couldn't make it out here tonight, taking in the action, and whatever side of the fence you fall on, we hope that you've enjoyed the content tonight. And again, congratulations to Coach McNulty on just a tremendous career, as they'll give it again. Coming right side, that was number 7, Carter Stockwell, on the carry. As we're approaching 2 minutes left to play in this one. As they continue to let that clock wind down. 1 minute 45 seconds left to play. Again, score here at Patton Stadium, 48-30 in favor of Latin. The QB keeper this time,
Quarterback keep for number 12,
Martin Sumacrest, back in the game for Latin. A gain of maybe a yard for 39. And yeah, all you guys out there that have been listening tonight, give us your feedback. Let us know how we can improve and how we can continue to give you guys quality video and entertainment in tonight's action. As we're under a minute left to play now, 50 seconds and counting. And you never want to say it's over when it's not over, but it would appear that this one is about done. 35 seconds and counting left to play now, as Latin will punt it away. One last chance for Country Day to maybe make something happen.
back to punt it away. Is Andrew Bullitt. Number 7, Ryan Bullitt is back deep.
And they'll let it go as far as they can. And it looks like Charlotte Latin just content to take a delay of game here, taking the clock all the way down to 3 seconds. And that's exactly what they'll do. 3 seconds left to play. A punt coming. And they're just going to run around, and Andrew Bowen still on his feet. The time has stopped, but of course, this isn't basketball. The play doesn't stop until the man is down, and he'll go down. A little smile on the face from some of the fans, the teammates over there. Got a little bit of a gain of yards, so did Andrew Bowen there, and that's the way this one will end. Charlotte Latin with a 48-30 win tonight on senior night, their last regular season game, and of course the last regular season game of head coach McNulty. And tremendous game. Loved being a part of it with all you guys, and hope your nights are just as great as the two teams come out for the handshake. And I'm told there is going to be some special little festivities still at the end of this one, so if you'd like to continue watching, please continue to stay and join us. We're told there's going to be some a little bit more extra festivities. I'm going to take a break here on the mic, but you're welcome to stick with us and enjoy those festivities. As my executive producer Ryan Gwill over here is saying to continue talking, so I will, my man. And so happy to still have so many of you guys here on the stream taking this one in, as I think we're not certain what those festivities are going to be, but I'm told we're going to have some other little again, a festivity to commemorate Larry McNulty, legendary head coach for Charlotte Latin. Yeah, and you got to think that this is just such, it's so great to see Latin come out with a win tonight for Coach McNulty, and it's got to mean the world to him to come out with a win here in his last regular season game. And you really saw his players play for him tonight. They really came out and fought hard and came out with a win on the special night for him with his family in attendance, his three sons that all played for him. That was something that we didn't really get an opportunity to touch on in the broadcast. We'll as we had a couple of Charlotte Latin staff members coming over, but I was going to say his three sons played for him here at Charlotte Latin, and they're here in attendance with their families tonight, so I'm sure that's special for him and his entire family and friends. And as we get you some shots over here of the team. And Coach McNulty is not really one for ceremony. I think is how you would best say it. And talking with him, he kind of said that he was going to leave all the celebration to us and to the athletic department here at Charlotte Latin, and they've done a tremendous job doing that, putting on such a great event tonight in addition to the football game in honor of him. Throughout the stoppages of play tonight, they've had little bits and facts of him and his career here at Latin and his family, his friends, and all the people that he's just impacted. And I feel like that's truly what he's done. He's impacted so many lives, has Coach McNulty. He's, as I said earlier in the broadcast, really a molder of men. And whether those players went on to play collegiately or professionally, he's kept up with even those that didn't, that have gone on, as I said, to start families and start businesses and join the workforce, do tremendous things for their communities. As Coach McNulty comes over to the sidelines. And maybe we won't get one more bit of ceremony here tonight, as we're going over to ask some of the guys in the booth on the other side. We'll keep you updated what happens here. We're not going to leave you hanging, of course. As we're trying to get word here for you guys, we want to, if there is any other special moments here for Coach, we want to be able to bring it to you. It would appear, though, right now that there is not anything else that's going to happen. And, yeah, I think that's going to be the way this one is going to end. Again, 48-30 is our final score here at Patton Stadium. Charlotte Latin comes out with the win in Coach McNulty's final regular season game. Congratulations to Larry McNulty on a tremendous career. Thank you all in the live stream for joining us tonight. Until next time, Michael McLean, Ryan Gwill, signing off with the Charlotte Latin live stream. And, of course, again, field hockey tomorrow. Come out and support your Hawks in the final, the state championship against Providence Day. That'll be at 1 o'clock here at Charlotte Latin. Come out and join us for that one. That's going to be a great game, I'm sure, as the Hawks fight to win the state title. So, yeah, until next time, this has been a long goodbye. But, of course, that's the broadcaster's goodbye, isn't it, Ryan? Yeah. And that'll do it. Thanks again.